This is for the book, Scaling Your Digital Marketing Team. And this is chapter 2, Adapting to the Military Framework. James, tell us a little bit more about this chapter.
Yeah, so obviously we included this in the book, mainly because obviously if the military and the army have done it for centuries, there must be something right on what they do. And obviously the way they structure their kind of teams and the way that they do the military is they'll do little groups and they'll normally split it up into a team of 2, a team of 4, a team of 8 to 12 maximum, and then the next steps to a team of 30. And when obviously me and you've discussed this quite a bit, it obviously now with AI around, you can tailor it slightly with regards to the numbers. But the specific reason of why that they do it, a team of 2 in the military is known as being a scout team. Now, the way I normally set up a new brand is I would want to validate my idea. I'd want to check the products, is it needed, is the demand for the product, what price range I should do. And naturally, and I didn't know this until I actually started to research exactly how the military did it and their framework. I used to always do it as being a 2-man team. And then the launch team would be a 4-man team. And then generally speaking, if I have any sort of lifestyle business or a business where I don't want to take it too big, then I'll always keep it around. I used to do it anything from 7 to 15, but the military do it generally as a team of 8, and they call it a scout. Then with regards to, they call it a section. And for me, I would say 8 to 12 is okay. But then what they then start to say is the gap then from 8 to 12, then to take it to the next level, is you should be looking at a team of 30, and they call that a platoon. And that's because within business, you need your C-level suite, whether it's your CEO, your CMO, your COO, your CTO, and the middle management structure in place. But to do that, obviously, you want them to be managing several people underneath that team. So that's where the jump from 8 to 30 comes. And we just talk about how the army do it and how the military do it and their framework. So when you started to look into that a little bit more, naturally, we spoke about this quite a bit, but naturally you see a lot of businesses do it as well. Was that just a default setting for yourself, Mads, that you kind of ran a similar structure, or did you actually know about that from the military?
No, we weren't looking at it from a military standpoint. Actually, we were looking at it a little bit differently. We were seeing where people were hitting ceilings. So there's typically a ceiling, sort of 8 to 10 people, is if you have an individual who starts hiring people and starts trying to scale a company. Like if you don't know much about management, you can kind of get to 8 to 10 people, and then you work like crazy, right? Because you don't know how to delegate properly, you don't know how to manage people. And every time you hire someone, they give you a little bit more effectiveness, or they give you a little bit more hours, but everything comes back to you. So every time you hire someone, you also automatically get more busy, right? So that was sort of the first sort of where people hit the head on the ceiling. Then around 25 to 30, what tends to happen is then you have to start managing 2 other people. So it's a different business challenge, right? So you have to trust other people to manage the way they're managing and manage the people they're managing. So that's sort of a different ceiling, right? And typically we see another ceiling around 50 to 60 people, where it's often a question of companies really having to communicate through an organization through multiple layers and doing that effectively, right? So that's the ceilings that we have often bumped into, that I've seen as a consultant, that companies bump into on a regular basis, right? So the way the military framework that we have been talking about a lot makes a lot of sense from that point of view.
Yeah, for sure. So anyone who's watching this, we'll hope you like our book review, Scaling Your Digital Marketing Team, chapter number 2.